Welcome to episode 383 of In Touch with iOS, the show that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, Vision Pro, Mac, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and I've got the usual great people here. And first off, Ben Roethig's back. How you doing, Ben?
I'm good.
I'm very excited to be to have rejoined the ranks of the Daywalkers.
Oh,
Okay, great. Yeah, so you're working days.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you can be here at night. That's awesome. Glad you're here. Marty Jencius, he's here as well. How you doing, Marty?
Pretty good. First week of classes, so every student emails me when they think they're going to Golden Corral University, where they can just belly up to the bar and get whatever they want and as much as they want.
I want to go to that school.
No system, no real system, no sense of order. So it's. I'm glad it's Thursday.
Good. Glad you're here. And I'm also glad she's here. Jill McKinley. How you doing,
I'm
Jill?
doing great. It feels like Friday Eve. I'm just excited.
It's almost Friday. It always hot Friday
Right.
Eve, right? When we
It's
do
always
this on
Friday
Thursday
Eve.
night.
But sometimes I'm
does.
tired Friday
Makes sense.
Eve, and sometimes I'm like, Friday Eve.
Ready to go rock. Chuck Joyner is here. How you doing, Chuck?
I'm doing good, Dave. I'm doing good. I just wanted to respond there to Marty's comment. It's like, it sounds like what he described is probably exactly the way he was at that age.
Hey, I was much more rule bound, believe it or not, than you would give me credit for, Chuck.
Wow. That's
I don't know if I
hard.
believe it.
I got to picture that. No, I can't.
It's sort of like,
Be careful.
that's the rule. Okay, I'll deal with it. Versus, I don't know what the rules are. I'll just make up the one I want to follow.
Right. And Eric Bolden is here, sporting a nice new flower background. How you doing, Eric?
Good. I really like the term Friday Eve. It will save my week.
It
Yeah.
will.
It's good.
It will. And last but certainly not least, Jeff Gamet is here. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing all right, and I'm happy to be here on this sunny and hot Friday Eve.
It is actually cooler here today.
Mhm.
I was kind of pleasantly surprised. So it is maybe a fall's not too far down the days here. So but we're glad to be here, and there's a ton of things to talk about as always. Apple keeps busy with all kinds of stuff. We got the usual stuff, couple breaking news stories, as well as Vision Pro and Beta and Mac and everything else. So let's hit it here. In a couple of breaking news ones I wanted to hit real quick here. 18.6.2 and macOS Sequoia 15.6.1. You have to. This is a big fix. You got to install it. Don't even mess around. Even at work, they were on it right away. Say, hey, got to install right now. We can't mess around with this because it is addresses a security vulnerability that's known to have been actively exploited. According to Apple security support documents, memory corruption could result from devices that were sent a malicious image file. Apple says that it was aware of the report that the issue may have exploited an extremely sophisticated attack against specific targeted individuals. The wording suggests that the average iPhone, iPad, and Mac usually doesn't have to worry about being targeted on this attack, but still a good idea to update anyway. And then Apple addressed the issue with improved bounds checking and the CVE credits Apple, including Apple's internal teams that actually found the bug and fixed it. So like I said, iOS 18.6.2, iPadOS 18.6.2, macOS Sequoia 15.6.1. They also released fixes for iPadOS 17.7.10 and macOS 14.7.8. And even Ventura 13.7.8. That has to tell you that there was a pretty serious security flaw. If you got all those OSs hitting and even older ones. Any thoughts on this? I'm sure everybody's going to say the same thing I'm saying. Update it right now. Don't wait and waste
Right.
time.
In fact, put us on pause if you have not.
Yes, you need to. Second breaking news story. This came out yesterday as we record here. As we reported last week that the Apple Watch, Apple came up with a blood oxygen workaround where the the result actually now appears in your iPhone. You had an Apple Watch that was Mac Watch Series 9 and later, the after gen Series 9 and Series 10. But now Masimo, of course, doesn't waste time. They're now suing U.S. Customs over the workaround. And so you had to figure Masimo, who's been suing Apple over patents related to the feature, would look a way to fight back, and sure enough, they did. They filed a new lawsuit. But this time it's against the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and here's why. When Apple released, of course, the feature, the medical device maker Masimo sued over alleged patent infringement. Over the years, the lawsuit dragged on and on and on and on, and since it got a ban in December 2023, which of course Apple was prohibited from selling these Apple Watch models in the U.S. only. And then they halted the sales, and then they had been selling the Watch Series 9 and the Watch Ultra 2 without the blood oxygen feature, but although they didn't do the hardware, it was just a software it disabled. So they implemented it out. So why are they suing again? Well, it says that the U.S. Customs and Border Protection overstepped its authority and violated due process when it reversed its earlier decision on August 1st and allowed Apple to restore the feature. Moreover, Masimo says that it found about the decision when Apple publicly announced the return of the feature. And they go on and on about this is just absolutely crazy. I could go on and on, but I think we all got the picture here that we've known for a while now that Masimo, with their $100 million in legal fees that they've paid, and probably more now so far, I find it to just absolutely be crazy. Jeff, I like your comment there. What do you think of this?
Yeah. Of course they're going to continue pursuing every legal option they have to try and squeeze money out of Apple. Yes, Masimo sells other products in the health industry space, but man, they sure could cash in big time if they could get Apple to actually pay them. However, Masimo says that they don't want to cooperate or negotiate, which kind of defeats the purpose. Yeah. And now one thing Masimo said is that the CBP's ruling nullifies the ITC's exclusion order against Apple. Yeah,
Mhm.
it does. But it does because the ITC order is very narrow in its scope. So when Apple changed the software in a way that CBP apparently felt was fine, then the ITC's exclusion order doesn't apply, because it doesn't apply to what Apple's doing in this case. Now, a future court ruling could change that, but as it stands right now, yeah, Apple could turn the feature on, and in the US, we've got it, and it's going to stay on for, well, let's see, at least through the end of the week, probably longer.
Yeah. Okay. Chuck, what are your thoughts?
I want to know a little more about this because the articles I've read so far indicate that Apple has a workaround. So they are not, and the implication there for me is that they're not getting anywhere near Masimo's, the disputed aspect of the Masimo situation.
Mhm.
And so why would Masimo be a party to this? We had the ruling, and I understand, and I didn't agree with it, but it makes sense as to why the injunction was put in place for the original suit. But why Masimo would think that they are obligated, or the court, or anybody else has an obligation to notify them that Apple has made a change to the product, and it just happens to involve the very thing that their lawsuit involved. But until somebody can show me where there's any claim or indication that Masimo's intellectual property was involved in the workaround, I'm kind of missing it. It comes across as Masimo being a little bit of a spoiled child.
Well, Chuck, you're right. That's exactly what they're being. Okay. Let's assume that that the original ruling is appropriate, and I'm okay just accepting that as it stands because that's gone through several court proceedings and has been upheld that Apple actually violated their patents. Masimo isn't interested in negotiating, and they just want this to play out in court. Apple finding a workaround, meaning they found a way to do what they want to do that doesn't involve Masimo's patent. Good for them. Apple has no legal obligation to tell Masimo, hey, we changed our software, therefore it works around this problem. CBP agrees, so we're enabling the feature. Now, from a professional standpoint, under other circumstances, I could see where Apple would either politely or rudely say, we've got this, we're going to do it, bye. But in this case, no. This has become a very petty thing, and Apple isn't required to tell them that they've done this. So it just seems very Apple and very fitting that Masimo finds out when the public announcement is made, hey, you can use this feature on your Apple Watch in the United States.
And that's where, Jeff, I agree with you. And everything made perfect sense except Masimo's reaction to it. I think they did themselves some harm, at least in the public eye for anybody that's paying attention to this.
Sure, they have caused themselves some harm just in the public's perspective. However, from a legal standpoint, they were really obligated to do this because they need to aggressively protect their patent. Now, the whole backstory, I think Masimo is being kind of crappy about the way they're dealing with this, but if they're not actively defending their patent or what they see as violations of the patents, they can lose control of that patent. So they're in a position where, regardless of whether or not Apple is in the right now, they had to file this lawsuit.
Yeah. But the thing is that
go ahead there. Eric actually asked for a comment first before you go, Ben. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Eric.
I was just going to say, in many ways, this just has to irritate them that Apple has a device that has the sensors and has the on-device calculations that works everywhere else in the world except the U.S. And it still has the sensors and all the on-device ability is just switched off. And really the only thing that apparently lets them get away with it is that it's not doing on-device calculation. It's taking all that sensor data, moving it, over here to this other device, letting it calculate and display there with basically the same result. It just has to really irk Masimo because I think they thought they finally had something and it's kind of slipping through.
Sure.
It's a creative solution from Apple. It was nice to see.
Yep. I'm going to let Ben go and then we'll get you, Marty. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, at this point, Apple has, I think, spent more money on lawyers than Epic and come up even with far less in return. They should have cut a deal. It makes sense for them to have to go to aggressively defend their patents, but it makes no sense for them not to profit from those patents. They had to sell their audio division to Samsung to keep the company solvent at this point.
Right. Marty?
Yeah, they're in for an ounce, they're in for a pound. And I think that's part of the problem. It started out with Apple poaching a bunch of their engineers. They created the component. I'm not even sure it has to do with the actual patent components, more so than the fact that it is on device. And once they switched it off device and onto phone, and frankly, it makes no difference to me. I got it working now on a device that it wasn't working on beforehand, and the thing lights up my phone as soon as I'm done with it. I punch it in and there it goes. It gives me the data that I was going to get, except it's not on device. And it's no big deal to me. That information is going to go to my doctor anyways. So that's one thing. It is affecting Masimo. Masimo, I just did a little search to find out what their 6-month performance data was in terms of their stock, and it looks like an average of down 16%. So they're taking a hit on this. And it might have been some of the reasoning that Ben said in terms of them having to sell a portion of their components off. But yeah.
Right. Jill, wrap up with you.
I agree that you have to fight it, if you own the patent on it, and that's the way it is. And then there are people who sit on patents and try to sue anyone they can. And if Apple doesn't fight this, and everyone who said, "Hey, I thought of hands on a clock on a watch, that's my idea," it will start suing them. So it's a fair fight, and I think they came up with a great solution. It works on my Ultra now, which is making me happy, and it just can't go on that forever. And I agree with everything everyone said.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's go ahead and move on to In Touch with Vision Pro this week. And Apple did release the VisionOS Beta 7 and VisionOS 26 right alongside with macOS Developer Beta 7. And the build is out. I think all of us here who have the Vision Pros have installed it. Really can't see much new going on, but still MIA is the Jupyter immersive environment, right, Marty?
Yeah, no Jupyter and no bendable panoramic monitor. The shared MacBook monitor. You can't make it nice and long and big and bend it on the corners. Only a few things with in the notes with regard to developers, and actually the things that are in the notes with regard to developers are saying, don't trust this. We haven't quite fixed this yet. So it's more warnings about what they shouldn't do than what they should do with it. So we'll see more releases, I'm sure.
No question. Eric, did you see anything?
No. Some smoothed out edges. They've added a little polish here and there on the, here's this new OS and here are a couple changes. But yeah, it was nice and smooth. I'm really going to look forward to the final release. This is a very good one.
Okay. And then a couple immersive video releases here, kind of. You can explore the Disney Plus Alien Earth immersive environment in Apple Vision Pro now. And this was added within the Disney Plus app, and it's the containment room of the USCSS Magnac. And it will bring a new immersive environment to the Vision Pro app, as well as a host of other interactive items with the new show Alien Earth. And now Apple Vision Pro users can use that content. If anyone doesn't know, Alien Earth is a sci-fi thriller based on the well-known film franchise set on a version of Earth controlled by a few massive companies. Now, new terrifying life forms and encountering when a Wayland Yutani ship collides with the Prodigy City. So cool to see some more immersive environments that are coming out. Eric, I seem to think you said it was kind of not so good on your eyes, or what?
Yeah, I don't like horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
And this started out really cool. You get into the environment, it's got the sparks and there's sounds and there's water dripping. It's always going to be a relaxing film if there's water dripping. always. And the flickering lights, and
Drip,
yeah, right. Everything you would ever want, no surprises. So I thought, okay, I will settle into the environment. I will watch part of a show. I watched the part of the show. I stopped the show, and I made the mistake of looking up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Eric,
Yeah, it is.
you almost lost your lunch.
It is a fully immersive environment. That's the cool thing about it. Turn around, you've got stuff behind you that then once you realize there's stuff behind me, I need to start worrying about what stuff is behind me. So, for the kids, it sets up a great environment for them to watch Finding Nemo.
No.
Eating,
Do you want to add a comment?
eating Nemo maybe would be.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Eric, anyone that's watched any movie in the Alien franchise knows what happens when you look up.
Right.
Yeah. And that water
it's not good.
No, it never ends well.
Eric, I have to ask, before you pass judgment on this, did you ever watch any of the Alien movies?
I saw Aliens, but when I went to see Aliens, I was on a date and someone told me it was a romantic comedy. It was not funny.
That was when Sigourney Weaver was there, right?
How did that date turn out, Eric? That's what I want to know.
I don't really remember the date, but I know to avoid
He remembers the alien.
Game over, man.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
But all I can say about it is this. I look forward to the future In Touch with Xenomorphs segment.
Yeah. And then HBO got involved here. This was just announced today as we record. HBO has launched a new Harry Potter immersive environment on the Apple Vision Pro. HBO has been a strong supporter of Apple Vision Pro from the start, offering a robust native app for the Vision OS with a Game of Thrones immersive environment. Today, they announced an update to the Vision OS app with an all-new environment, Hogwarts Great Hall. The Hogwarts Great Hall immersive environment will be familiar to Harry Potter fans as it's one of the most iconic rooms in the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry in the series. And the environment on Apple Vision Pro offers separate modes for day or night, and you get the full Hogwarts Great Hall experience with robust architecture, flowing candles, and iconic long tables. While browsing the HBO Max app for immersed in the environment, you will also hear the ambience of the Hogwarts Great Hall sound effects. Anybody, have you tried this, Marty?
Okay, I know I'm going to be stripped of my nerd badges, but I have never read or been to a Harry Potter movie. My kids went and saw them. I do own all of them, but I have never read or seen any of the Harry Potter stuff.
But did you take one for the team just because you had to see it for the purposes of the Vision Pro?
No.
Okay.
J.K. Rowling has turned me to the other direction.
Marty,
before anybody else comments, Eric, how about you? Have you seen it?
I didn't even know this was out until I read the article, and I haven't. So as soon as we're done,
I thought so.
Eric, it's a romantic comedy, just to let you know.
Yes.
As soon as I hear from somebody else and I know it's safe, then I will look.
Plus, Voldemort kind of looks like a xenomorph.
Oh.
And he doesn't hug you.
No. Go ahead, Jeff. Comment.
Okay, so regardless of how anyone may feel about the author of these works, the quality of the works, doing this is actually a cool use of Vision Pro. However, if they really, really want to do this right, screw the Harry Potter stuff. You got to go right to Lord of the Rings because the venues there that is begging for Apple Vision Pro immersive environments. Can you imagine walking through the dwarves halls? Just
Mount
imagine,
Doom.
right? I mean, the locales in Middle Earth are epic, and using the word correctly, they are epic.
Yeah.
That's where this needs to be.
Which, by the way,
Anybody else on their comments?
Well, I was going to go ahead, Ben.
Warner Brothers Discovery, through their New Line brand, also owns the movie rights to Lord of the Rings.
Oh, all right. Right.
Could
This
be
is
here.
the kind of
else?
experiences that I will eventually get me into an Apple Vision Pro. That I'm glad to see these coming out. Big Harry Potter fan.
Ooh.
No.
I said,
ooh, yeah. I went to Station 9 3/4. I hiked through a town called Dursley, which is where she named the town from, and I just I'm excited about that, and I'm kind of sad I can't see it. So there you go.
And I feel obligated to, in support of Marty, confess that I too have never seen a single Harry Potter movie. I mean, it's one of those things. It's on my list, and it's like, yeah, I'll get around to it, and then I watch a Star Trek rerun or something. It's like,
yeah, okay,
yeah, there's priorities.
yeah.
Funny, I always thought Chuck is a hardcore Slytherin.
Yes. So Marty, you and I will be out on the outside looking in together.
Please. I really haven't spent much time. I might have watched one of the movies of all of them. So I can't even remember. That's how much I've got excited about it. So, all right, let's go on to beta this week. So we always talked about the 18.6.2 and all the other updates. Make sure you do it. Apple did release iOS 26 beta 7 for the iPhone. Nothing but a bunch of a big change here with this release. I at least didn't notice anything crazy. As far as any updates goes, we're getting near the end here, so it's getting very close. A couple of weeks, we're thinking, because you always know around the mid-September is when they're going to get released. So the release can will be up here pretty soon. I would bet. Anything of new that's of new importance here? We've already talked about. Of course, they did now added, like you, Marty, you said last week that we didn't find it with the Apple Watch with the blood oxygen feature. Well, it is now in this beta 7 for watchOS 26 as well as iOS 26 that was added. There is some adaptive power notifications that have been added, so I think that's pretty cool. But beyond that, same stuff we've been talking about. So I think we're very close, getting close to being released. And then you got the developer betas of iPad OS 26. Nothing big there. And then you have released of the public betas as well. They're out now. Add that to it. tvOS was added as well, and watchOS 26 that's out as well. Nothing really notable to talk about that. And a couple features I wanted to talk about a little bit here. iOS 26 now has this new autofill code feature that's even better, and it's improved. So now they've expanded the autofill to third-party messaging, email, and browser apps. They now have added it so it doesn't matter what app it is now. Third parties are going to be able to support that and be able to detect those codes for SMS and other apps besides messages. So that's kind of cool to see. And then iMessage now is going to have a drafts folder, so you can put drafts of messages in that folder before you send them, which is kind of nice. Finally, it took them a long time to do that. Yeah, so I think everybody's going to like that because you can let it sit in the drafts for a bit and go and do that. And a couple and I've been talking this before. I'll put this article in here again. Is the fact that the multiple windows is just a game changer for me in the iPad with the iPad OS 26. The windowing, you can do up to 12 apps on a screen at once, and more than, of course, most of the people I think realistically need. But I like the fact of even doing 3, 4, or 6, which is real great. And they've done some improvements on the dock too. And then we also got some rumors that they're going to be talking about probably an M5. iPad Pro is going to be probably coming out sometime soon. I don't know if I'll upgrade to that. I think I'm pretty happy with the M4. I just can't. That'd be pretty hard to justify if you're an M4 iPad Pro users for that. But it works perfectly well. I am running beta on my iPad, which I usually don't do, but I just couldn't resist because of this new windowing feature. So it's good to see that stuff that's coming in as well. And like I said, all the public betas are out, and then one of these new features are going to be probably added to CarPlay. It's one of Apple's best recent iPhone features, live activities. So now live activities were on the iPhone a couple years ago when the Dynamic Island came out to be on the iPhone 14 Pro, and now they've really improved the feature and they've added it to more apps and system features and platforms. Even they've now are on watchOS 11. But now CarPlay is going to have the same platform, the live activities with the recent expansion. Most notably, like if you're going to pick somebody up at the airport, you're going to get those airport notifications if you've got the app set up for live activities. So that's going to be pretty of a game changer with that as well. Other live activity options would include like tracking food delivery or keeping up with sports scores, watching the forecast for rain and thunderstorms are looming. I know Jeff and I's favorite weather app, and I'm sure others too, is Carrot. Carrot does work in there as well, and I love being able to look at the maps on Carrot on CarPlay, and it's going to be even better with the iOS 26 because the CarPlay has been pretty well redesigned, so it's going to be a real cool feature there. Have any of you, Marty or Jill or anybody else who's on beta, have they tried the CarPlay yet?
I haven't tried the CarPlay. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was on CarPlay this morning, but I didn't notice anything new. I tried to watch a video when I was waiting for my dentist, and I couldn't figure it out. But I'm excited about the new things of that, and also iOS seems snappier now. It seems a little bit more responsive.
It does.
So, that's on my own.
Yep. Anybody else want to add anything to that?
The low battery warnings seem a little bit more prominent now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
definitely.
As does the what do they call it? Adaptive battery settings, where if that's engaged, they now let you know in no uncertain terms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I'm sorry, Ben. I always forget that you are running beta too, but I don't know if you have CarPlay. So.
Oh yes, I do.
I thought so. Okay. So have you done some testing with it?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think it's running really well. Live activities are great. Just having the Cub score automatically just come up in one of my little boxes. So I can weep
absolutely
while I'm driving.
So you watch the Nature Channel? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Oh gosh. So let's go ahead and move on to In Touch with Mac this week. Again, I talked about Sequoia 15.6.1. Make sure you update. macOS Tahoe 26 Beta 7 is now available. They're kind of in the final stretch here. Not a lot of big new things have been added, other than same stuff we've been talking about. One nice thing I'm doing now is I was actually approved to be able to start testing it on my work Mac. So just installed that yesterday, and so putting it through its paces. So now I get to actually experience on a Mac that I'm on probably 8 hours a day. So I can get a good experience and report back what our findings are with any bugs with our systems. So that's kind of cool. But anybody who is running Tahoe 26, you've been experiencing anything?
I upgraded both today. This one is on regular Sequoia, and the other one's on Tahoe, and both run fine with the new upgrades, and I haven't noticed anything particularly different.
How about you, Ben?
It's honestly haven't seen a whole lot of differences in the Mac.
Okay. Eric, are you running?
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I've been running it for a while, so now I'm having a hard time telling what changed.
Yeah.
There's a lot in there. I mean, they kept tweaking the liquid glass UI. It now seems to be pretty good. Yeah, but I'm totally blanking now on specifics.
I mean, I like the new control center. That's what I've been mostly playing with. If you had to ask me what am I doing is rearranging my control center, making that more customized to me. And then the new, quick find. What's the term? I'm a
Finder?
Windows person. Yeah. No, where you control
Spotlight.
space.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It's much nicer, and I've been playing with that quite a bit, but that's not new in this last beta, but it's getting better and better, and I really want to install it on this machine, even though it's my production machine.
Widgets is nice.
Oh, the widgets are nice too, yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yep. So, okay, let's move on here and let's talk a little bit about other topics. Oh no, I got to keep going here. Sorry about that. We got the release dates and such, but one of the things I found, and I'm a big I think all of us here are big OWC fans. They just released this week, actually yesterday as we record here, a new Express One M2 portable drive. This is just like this one here on my camera here, same design and such, but this is an 80 80G portable SSD, another fast Thunderbolt 5 storage option for Mac users with the latest hardware. Provides over 6,000 megabytes in a second in real-world speeds. It approaches performance level of an internal MacBook Pro drive, making a compelling partner for the Apple's latest M4 Pro and M4 Max MacBook Pro models. Not to mention the M4 Pro Mac Mini and the latest Mac Studio. It's got a great finned heatsink. I really love that on this one, and the aluminum enclosure. And it's got a DIY, or you can buy one with the drives. And they're pricey. Starts DIY is at $219 with the empty enclosure. It goes all the way up if you really need to have some serious storage and have some serious money in the bank. $12.99 for 8 terabytes of storage. Ooh-wee, that's a lot. But the speeds just keep going crazy, and I love to see OWC continues to excel with this. So, what are your thoughts on this, Chuck?
We're all going to need this speed at some point. I'm not sure it's right now, depending on what you're doing.
I'm not.
The 8 terabyte capacity is really intriguing to me, and I think it points to OWC's. They are continuing to push the pro market. I mean, because mere mortals don't need this kind of speed in a portable 8 terabyte drive. Do we want it? Absolutely, please.
I do.
It's on my Christmas list.
I gotta draw the line.
Yeah, Santa Claus, I would love for you to bring this to me over the holidays, but I know it's not going to happen. But I love it. I mean, OWC's products are just top notch, and you just wonder, where the top end is. But every time I get to talk to Larry O'Connor, he's always stressing, that one of their big objectives is to make the gear that makes professional jobs easier.
Yeah.
So
they do.
I love it.
Anybody else want to add anything about that?
I've got a. I first of all, there was a moment there I really wanted to come to Chuck's house for Christmas because it sounds like there's a possibility of some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I've got a bunch of external drives that I use for storing different things on, and I have to weigh. Well, I want one that's dependable. You can buy these things that are so cheap that they always crash on you. So I want some dependable models, but you got to weigh price with speed for me. And these are on the high end of pricing for what I need versus the speed that they provide. So, I've got a bunch of 2 terabyte lying around, and certainly not 1 terabyte for $350. So not yet.
Yeah.
And if you think
Anybody
this
else?
is impressive, and it most certainly is for having a portable workstation, especially on the go at a job. Just imagine the kind of performance you're going to be getting with something like their 12 stick Thunderblade X12 DAS unit.
Once you get into video editing, now you need a lot of hard drive space. And the one thing that Apple, I would say, I love Apple about everything, but the one thing they're skimpy about is hard drive space, and it's expensive. And on Ben's recommendation, I bought the 2 terabyte OWC when it went on sale. And it's interesting because hooked up to this machine, I have the 2, which I put on my B-roll and collateral stuff on, and then the 8, which I put all my video files on. And it's interesting, this 8 is a SanDisk Extreme, which is also supposed to be very, very fast. And it is amazing how fast that OWC is. I can play games on it, and it acts like the hard drive, and I'm just always so impressed with it.
Yeah, even these old models, these scream. They really do. It's just and I've got a few of them. Even the old Envoy Express is just a really fast device. In fact, the Envoy Express is limited to even you can plug it into a hub. You have to more or less have to plug it in direct or have a device that supports its fast speeds. So
super impressive if you have the money, and a good solution to when you don't have enough hard drive space from Apple.
I mean, that's why we love OWC and their appeal. I mean, they've got some great, somewhat lower end stuff, but it's worth the investment. Honestly, I mean, I'm a dock fiend. I see how many docks I got sitting around here with what I'm using right now.
I can verify Dave is a dock fiend.
Yeah, you can. There's at least 3 in front of me here. So it's they make some great products. So, all right, a couple other topics I want to hit real quick. For those of you who are sports fans, and I know not too many of you here are, but in the panel anyway, ESPN has now released a new streaming service, and it's a really good news for Apple TV, the Apple TV app users. The long-awaited flagship streaming service is launched today as we record. It will support the Apple TV app queue and the watch list. This is ahead of the football season. It's coming into full swing. There's 2 brand new services that are coming out, launching this week. It's both ESPN and Fox One, which are both launching today and closing some significant sports availability gaps in streaming. You also got to invoke the question, will it support the Apple TV's app? Well, it is. So we got really lucky with that. Yeah, for both, right? So the new ESPN is going to cost you $29.99 a month. That's, if you're not a sports fan, that's a little steep. And it will live inside the existing ESPN app, and the app currently integrates with the TV app, so you can continue to get the content directly through that. So look into that. Ben, you being the sports fan like you and me, and Marty, what do you think?
Well, I took it for a test drive. Number one, right now for the first year, they have a promotion where they're basically giving you Disney Plus and Hulu free.
Right.
And yeah, they said the app was going to change. I haven't really seen it. It's not really good for live TV. I mean, it shows the game far more than the channel. The channels themselves are like at the very bottom.
Oh.
But it gets you the ESPN content that you had to have cable for.
Right. Not anymore. Because now they're going to have, because I know ESPN is working on a negotiation with YouTube TV, so that'd be really disheartening if that doesn't work out, because they're pretty prominent on there. So I've got the bundle, but I have the bundle that's Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
So that's what I pay, the $30 a month for all 3 of those. So, and then plus I'm using my American Express card, and they give bundle discounts, so I get $10 back a month for that.
Nice.
So I'll get a pretty good deal for those 3. ESPN, I am a sports fan. We'll see. I have to give it some thought. Marty, what are you going to do? Are you going to look at this?
Let me tell you, this morning, after seeing that you had this come up as a story and that it was supposed to start, I spent a lot of time avoiding work trying to figure this out. Because, my sequence is Aileen wanted Hulu. We got Hulu. Then ESPN, and there were some teams I wanted to follow, so I got ESPN Plus. And then Mandalorian, I thought, okay, well, I'll get Disney. It's supposed to be cool. And now I have all of these services, and I don't know how they are bundled, how to unbundle them, or how to come in with a new service that rebundles them. I need a consultant, and I think there's a growing
You're probably
market
gonna
for
need to
streaming
cancel.
consultants who will just come in and tell you, no, you dropped this, you've got this, you don't have this, you need to do this.
And you may have to cancel all of them briefly and then resubscribe as the bundle.
It was so frustrating. I went back to work.
That's
Wow.
bad.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, I have to say that I'm in the process of assisting a friend to cut the cable, and it is insane. I mean, I asked GPT to give me a chart of what's available and what bundles and how they all interact. That was 4:00 this afternoon. It's still thinking. I mean, it's just
Okay, that's
He's
bad.
not kidding either.
yeah. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know, and at some point you just want to throw your hands up and say, okay, I'm going to subscribe to, you know, the ones I want and stop pretending to look at all these bundles, because the time you're spending is worth more than you know what the savings is.
Yes, and Chuck, your token bill from OpenAI will probably be more than the subscription price.
That's right.
Yep.
Anybody else want to add anything onto this?
I'll be your consultant, Chuck. I have an app called Television Time, and it tells you what channels things are on, and I just cancel and resubscribe and get this for a month and watch all the things and then get rid of it, and I'll be your consultant.
I'll take you up
Or
on
Marty.
that, Jill.
Maybe Marty needs a consultant. Yeah, I forgot, but yeah.
I probably have first look close to there too. I could always consult you as well. You have plenty of consultants here. So let's go ahead and move on here. I found this to be an interesting topic to discuss this week. 7 years later, people still haven't changed how they use the S Lady. It's proven a very long wait for the new S Lady, but perhaps it doesn't matter so much at all. A new survey is now showing that most people are using S Lady and other assistants in the exact same way as they did back in 2018. With some of the new capabilities have been added, and and there are some generational differences in its usage, but the vast majority of it falls into 5 rather basic categories. But after many years of Siri being accused of being the dumbest intelligent assistant around, well, it's probably true. And then, of course, further Apple showing with their iPhone 16 ad. Sadly, however, Apple has had to delete the ad after accusations it was false advertising, if we remember that. So far, nothing has really changed. There was a survey here that said you're checking the weather 59%, to play music 51%, checking the web for an answer 47%, setting a timer and alarm 40%, to call someone hands-free 39%. So is that the way we use that? So is it you wonder. But I think for the most part, people are really seeing the content that they're existing as their existing usage. However, 10% said that digital assistants aren't as smart as they expected to be. Okay, we knew that. And frustrated with voice assistants and not understanding what they want to achieve, failing to deliver accurate answers. So I thought this would be a topic to discuss here among our crew here. I'm gonna start with Jeff here because you use it a lot, and you use with your home kit, home pods specifically, and give us your wisdom here.
The information in this article, there's no surprises for me at all. And keep in mind that this isn't just the S Lady. This is all of our smart speaker voice assistant things.
Mm-hmm. The G-Man, the A Lady,
all bad.
All of them.
So, yeah, of course, the way people use these hasn't changed since 2018. And that's because there has been nothing that has happened with these devices in that time frame to give us any incentive to use them in other ways, nor have there been any features that have proven to be significantly better or more useful since then. Yeah, these are all just tell me the weather, set a timer, and play some music. That's it. The real surprise for me in the stats is that 39% of the survey participants said that they use their smart speaker to do hands-free phone calls. I figured that would be less than 10%, but whatever. I learned something new. These devices have never lived up to the promise, and I don't
Done
expect
worse.
that to change anytime soon. Yep, Ben, you're right. Performance over time has degraded across all of these platforms, and people have expected these devices to perform in certain ways, in part because Star Trek taught us that's what we should want, but then also because the device makers promised us that they were going to give us that experience.
That's right.
And to date, I can't even give a compound command to my HomePods. If I want to do 3 different things with lights, like turn on one room, turn off another room, and then set the brightness, or how about one room, turn on the lights to a specific color and a specific brightness. That's 3 separate commands that you still have to give.
Yeah. It's like we're living in the future where the company that created the holodeck built the computer.
Yeah, it's like we're not living in the future at all.
I don't know. Jeff, I don't know. When you were talking, the lights in my living room just came on.
Yeah, that's part of the problem. So what happened was, first my HomePod said, "Is this Jeff?" And I said, "Yes." And then it said, "Oh, you need to authenticate on your iPhone." And so I told it, "Turn on Chuck's lights again." And it said, "Is this Jeff?" And then
that's
I
how it
said,
happened.
"Just turn on Chuck's lights." And so they turned on.
That explains it.
Jeff, you said about the hands-free calling. I wonder if that's CarPlay people, because I realized I never used the S Lady for anything. And now that it's built into Apple CarPlay, I'm using it to do things like call people. And I think
bet you're right.
Yeah,
In
and
my
half the
mind, I
time-
was
That's well,
thinking
you should.
I'm in my living room and I use my HomePod to place a phone call, which I think I did once after the HomePod came out, just to test and see how it worked.
Yeah.
And then I have never used the feature since.
And half the time I wanted to call my parents, it ends up calling one of my cousins.
Oh,
Ouch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chuck, what? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say the percentages here are what people say they use it for. It's not a percentage of how much it's successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I tried to get it to set an alarm this afternoon for a 50-minute nap, and it said, "Oh, okay, we will set an alarm for 15 minutes." And I was like, "No, 50 minutes." So just that, how successful are they going to be? I think we ought to do a voice assistant, and we'll call it Poltergeist. And we can ask it to do stuff, and it'll flash the lights in Chuck's house.
I'm on board for this.
Me too. I'm excited. Or Eric, he doesn't like horror movies, so let's do Eric.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
Marty, my absolutely
Chuck, anything to add?
stupid workaround for the timer, alarm, whatever thing that you're dealing with, where you get a 15 instead of a 50-minute timer. I tell my HomePod, or tell the S Lady, 49 or 51.
It's much like the sign in Colorado, right?
Yeah. I go off by one.
Right.
And then it gets that, usually, which is so stupid.
Right.
Hey, S Lady, start to drip the water at Eric's place.
Why did my sprinkler fire suppression just turn on? Huh.
Jeff, don't
Have
look
your
up.
thoughts, Chuck? Go ahead, Chuck.
I seem to be the only person that is reasonably satisfied. Yes, I have the occasional glitch, And honestly, I usually look in the mirror and say, yeah, I probably slurred that just a little bit. I use it to place phone calls. In the car. I use it to send and answer texts in the car. I you know I don't do anything hugely sophisticated with it, but what I do with it, I'm really satisfied. And I hate to say it. I mean, that goes for the S lady and the A lady. The S lady has her quirks. The A lady has her quirks. I haven't met a lady that didn't have her quirks, but it just it's an acceptable level of performance for me. And I think Marty hit on something, because I have to wonder if all these people are saying they're doing this. I don't know about you, but if something doesn't work with any kind of consistency, I stop using it. It's like going to a restaurant that I didn't enjoy the food. I just don't go back. And that's sort of
Right.
the same way with tech. If something doesn't work, a piece of software or hardware, I don't use it. So somebody is using these things enough to complain about them.
Yeah.
Since I'm using CarPlay more often, I am interacting with the S lady a lot more.
Yeah.
To do text messages to my sister when I'm on the road, to make phone calls, like you said, and it's pretty good. To ask it a question about an area that I'm in, or what does this mean, it always tells me to go to my phone. I think what's happened is the technology has not improved, but our expectations have gone up.
Yep. All right, Eric, go ahead. You're the last word on this. You said you used your Vision Pro.
Yeah, I found with the Vision Pro, when I'm giving commands, it's fairly successful. But I have a set number of things I do, like trying to take a screenshot, or with my speakers, I want today's news, and I want today's weather, and that speaker, that's all I ask for, and it is really good at giving me exactly what I want. So if you have done something a couple of times and it's successfully completed, it seems to be able to continue to do that. And right now, that's all I want, the consistency. I don't want it to get fancy and start talking back and then forget how to tell me what the news is.
Yep. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. That was a great discussion on that. Got up some news stories I want to hit before we wrap up here. Couple Apple Card stories. Apple Card's offering 5% cash back at select gas and charge point stations. This is through September 15th as we record here. Get 5% back when you use the Apple Card via Apple Pay at Exxon and mobile stations across the United States. It's also available qualifying charge point stations for electric vehicles. It's limited to $500 and combined with the Exxon, Mobil, and ChargePoint, meaning the maximum cash value you can receive from this offer. Oh, okay, $25. But you get the normal 30% back, and you won't get it if you use the physical card, as we know. So it has to be using Apple Pay. And the summer road, that's what this is calling, the summer road trip promotion. It began on August 15th, goes through September 15th. So just more of a PSA than anything else. Any comments?
I get that out of Citibank. They do something similar, and it's a good
I get on our cards
function.
too.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard to believe it's been 6 years since Apple Card came out in the United States, and it's never been to any other country all that time. And that was that following a little more limited preview period. The credit card, of course, you manage it in Apple's an iPhone wallet, and it got some great benefits, including you can coded spending summaries, no fees, daily cash back, paid out daily. The card holders also can open a high-yield savings account, which we all love. But, that big change is coming. We talked about potentially that Apple's going to partner with Chase Bank, and Goldman Sachs is going to get out of this business. They've been talking about this for a while. But the contract does run until 2030. But Apple is reportedly willing to let them out of that contract. But we'll see where that goes. But if Apple does get this a new financial partner, you're going to kind of worry about the updates to the card's features, policies, and interest rates, customer service processes, although exact changes have remained to be seen. It's it's worth noting that Chase Bank does not even offer a high yield savings account like the Apple Card savings. So it's only in the U.S. And 6 years since that has released. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
I have recently taken over managing the expenses in our household, and not because there's anything wrong going on. I just have taken on that responsibility, and I have switched everything over to my Apple Card. So the regular bills and stuff, and it's just I have so much faith in that platform and the security that goes around with it, and being able to get responsiveness from the company. And I know I'm probably taking a hit on a percentage rate here or a percentage rate there, but it just seems
as long as you pay it off.
It just seems, and I pay it off. It's just easier to pay it off and manage it. So it just for me seems to be the go-to card now. And since this has kind of fallen in my lap, those are my choices.
Easy way to pay it right from your phone.
Marty, did this involve
Anybody
if
else?
you could do it better, you pay the bills? Something like that? I'm just kidding.
No, we can talk about it off. We can talk about it off show.
I'm
gonna
guessing
say-
it was okay. We have these two things we need to sort out. One is who's doing the dishes. The other is who's doing the expenses. And there you go.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yep. Anybody else want to add anything to this?
I don't think anybody
All
could
right.
add anything to that.
Yeah, that is true. I can't leave from that one. So a couple Apple TV Plus stories. The Morning Show is back at the season 4 trailer was released yesterday as we record. And it's begins the season 4 begins in the spring of 2024, nearly 2 years after the season 3's merger between UBA and NBN. Now operating under UBN, story confronts issues of truth and trust in an era of deep fakes, conspiracy theories, and cover-ups. Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, of course, return, both starring and executive producing. Showrunner Charlotte Stout and director Mimi Leder is also remained at the helm. And, of course, you got the same folks that were in it, like Billy Crudup and Mark Duplass and many of the other great actors that were in it. John Hamm is back as well. So it highlights a pursuit of a cover-up story, and it looked very intriguing. Alex also clashes with a podcaster, Brody, corporate tension. So it's got all its fun stuff. It's going to premiere on September 17th. New episodes streaming through November 19th. So I like that show. I'm looking forward to it. Anybody else feel the same? I think I've always enjoyed that show. 4 seasons now.
I should probably start watching that show.
Yeah. It sounds a lot more
it was good.
interesting than I was expecting.
It is.
I got through
It's
season
got a lot
through season 1, so I'm 2 seasons behind.
Yeah, I got through season 1 as well.
It was one of those shows that I thought, okay, I'm going to watch it. It's one of the few times I said I'm going to watch it because it's on Apple TV, because we'll be talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the kind of show I typically enjoy, but it's so well done. I mean, there were questions over, some of the plot lines in, I think it was series or season 2 or 3. I don't know.
Season 2.
I lost track. But bottom line is, it is really well done. The acting is good. The stories, whether you agree with them or like them, are engaging. And, you end up really being intrigued to see what's going to happen next with the characters. So much to my surprise, it's one of the few non-genre shows that I can recommend.
And it's just it's a show that was what put Apple TV Plus on the map. I mean, that was the first episodic show that Apple released on Apple TV Plus at the time. So many things have evolved over these many years with all the rest of the great shows and movies that are out now. So looking forward to it. I enjoy it. So anybody else? All right. Reportedly, Apple TV Plus is going to be abandoning MLB coverage. They're set to exit the partnership with Major League Baseball and discontinue Friday Night Baseball package on Apple TV Plus. Apple did enter into this contract with MLB in March of 2022 with a 7-year agreement that was about $85 million per year, granting them exclusive global streaming rights to the 2 Friday games a week on Apple TV Plus. But the deal was originally scheduled to go through 2029, but they're saying that Apple is going to be exercised an early opt provision, allowing the company to end its involvement before the contract's plan. I think it comes out with a stand because they were looking to get the Sunday Night Baseball features, but NBC got that. It's going to be on Sunday Night Baseball. It's going to be through Peacock streaming services instead. So I think Apple just kind of got bitter with that. And they still have MLS for soccer, and they've had tried with NFL with the Sunday Ticket, which would end up to be a YouTube TV. And then they explored packages with the English Premier League and the Pac-12 conference. So Pac-12 kind of died. So it's probably a good idea they didn't get that. Well, it's back, but not nowhere near what it used to be. So, so are we surprised? I don't think I am. I think Apple's probably they saw that the Sunday night wasn't going to happen. So I think they were just probably not ready to move on.
Plus, ESPN came back with a very similar deal to what they gave the NFL.
Right. Yeah, ESPN's got some big pockets, that's for sure. They're gobbling things up. So, yep, it's definitely a different landscape in the sports world for sure. And this just came out today as we record. Apple TV Plus is price increasing. It was announced. Apple will raise the monthly price of Apple TV Plus streaming to $12.99 a month, according to 9to5Mac. Apple TV Plus had cost just $4.99 a month when it started in 2019. Price went up 3 times, $6.99 in 2022, then to $9.99 in 2023. It's now going to cost $12.99 a month. The latest price increase will apply to other countries too. An annual subscription to Apple TV Plus will continue to cost $99 in the US, and Apple One bundles prices are not changing, the report goes, so it's going to be more enticing that maybe the Apple One bundle is good. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But this is going to be effective immediately. So those who are subscribing monthly, you're going to pay more. And I think a statement was shared to 9to5Mac said Apple is attempting to justify the price increase by noting that it continues to expand its library of original content. And it touted, of course, the value of its Apple One bundles and multiple Apple services. Many other services like Disney Plus and Netflix have raised their price in recent years too. So, I mean, this isn't anything new with other folks. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
Yes. When I saw the news earlier today, and I saw the comments that were coming out, it's like everyone in the world thought that Apple was going to offer a $4.99 streaming service forever. And they feel like it's a personal assault that Apple has raised the rates. That's the nature of this industry. You want content, it costs. And that's it. The other side of it, though, is that Apple is making, just like the headline says, this stuff's getting, the bundles are harder to resist now. It's much more enticing to pay if you just want Apple TV Plus. It's much more enticing to pay for a year now than it was before.
Yeah.
Alternately, the Apple One bundles look a lot more attractive, presumably to a lot more people as of this morning.
So, I agree. Anybody else?
Yeah. Has anybody seen Foundation? That ain't cheap.
No, right.
Great
exactly.
show.
That is a very expensive show.
I just came up with a hypothesis.
Surprise.
No. Yeah. Okay. So the thing where people sign up for a service, watch the show they want, cancel, then go to the next service to watch that show, cancel and go. That's probably a big money loss, not just for Apple, but for all of these companies. So they probably need to increase the rate for the month-to-month subscribers because a lot of those are doing just short term. But keep the annual and the bundle prices lower to make it more attractive to not do the subscription hopping.
I mean, you're right. That's what I do, and that's what I did. And now these bundles are getting cheaper where it's almost not worth it for me to do what I do. And
yeah, that's the idea.
Alone,
make it easier for you to stay subscribed than to hop.
Right.
Yep. Anybody else? And then real quick, the last article I have here, I'll just summarize it with the Apple One bundle. I've been an Apple One bundle subscriber since its inception many years ago. I still find it well worth it, including everything. I got the Premier plan, which includes News Plus and Arcade, iCloud Plus, and Apple TV Plus, News Plus. So it's got a great bundle of stuff. I mean, I've been playing the games on Arcade, so I'm getting my money's worth on that. News Plus, I find it's got some good information, and then also including with the sports that they've expanded on as well. So I think the bundle itself, around $38 a month, I think it is for all of those services. I think it's well worth the bargain. Does everybody else here use it on the bundle?
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Everybody, and just only a few of us.
It all
You're not
comes
Chuck,
down
right?
to the value. Whether it is the bundles or just the straight subscription. I can't talk tonight. The straight subscription to Apple TV Plus. But how much value you're getting out of it? How much are you using it? I know I'm paying for services that I don't use nearly as much.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I should stop that. And now that I've said that out loud, I think I will.
But I needed more space. I didn't need more hard drive space. I liked the TV. I liked the fitness. And the company I used to read old magazines from got bought by Apple News. And so it's all there now. And so I almost use everything in there, and I love it. So, and the games. I like the games.
I'm probably the odd man out in the Apple One subscription group because I'm just doing the individual thing, and that's because I use Apple TV Plus, I use Apple Music. It's what's the third one that comes with that?
Arcade.
Well, Arcade's like
Arcade,
the bonus
News
that
Plus,
comes with it.
iCloud Plus.
Yeah, but anyhow, it's like all the stuff that I use all the time, and I do pay for extra storage. It's cheaper to do the Apple One bundle as an individual.
Yeah.
And it gets Arcade thrown in for free.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I bundle and do the family plan. And so, I have a lot of Apple movies that I purchased. So the 5 other family members that I have on it have access to my movie library. And one day when I die, they will stop leeching off of me.
Okay. All right. So that was a great show. I want to get the thanks to everybody that has been in the chat tonight at youtube.com/Mac in touch with iOS. And a couple comments here. Great to see Guy Cyril in the chat. They should combine Formula One, baseball, and rugby. And he said he'd watch it, the heck out of that. And then who else? Webb said, don't forget the rumor that Apple TV may pull in Formula One. That's possible. And Chuck, you said that you take Formula One over baseball any day, as well as a lot of other great comments. So, but thanks for being in the chat tonight and joining us. So, with that, let's go ahead and wrap up. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, suggestions to our email address, which is feedback@intouchwithios.com. Follow us on Blue Sky and Mastodon at In Touch with iOS. Support the show by buying me a coffee at intouchwithios.com/coffee. We would really appreciate it. You can become a patron of the show by going to patreon.com/intouchwithios. We have 2 tiers available to support the show. We would appreciate it. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you're notified when we're live streaming. Like Webb Bixby and Guy and Brian was here earlier. You can do that on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/intouchwithios, where you can watch the current and past live streams as well as listen to past shows. In Touch with iOS magazine on Flipboard. Visit that when you can, where many of the topics we discuss are flipped in that magazine. The link is in our show notes. You can subscribe to the show in your favorite podcatcher, including Pocket Casts, Overcast, Apple Podcasts, and many others. But better yet, go to our website at intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. You can also find me at Blue Sky and Mastodon I'm Dave Ginsburg at DaveG65, and we'll reverse a little bit. And Jeff Gammon, thank you for being here this week. Appreciate it. Where can people find you?
It's always great to be here. I love hanging out with you and everyone else. It's an absolute treat. People can find me on social media as Jay Gammett. I'm active mostly on Mastodon, Blue Sky, and PixelFed right now. Then for shows, for whatever reason, Chuck continues to let me join in on Mac Voices Live on Tuesdays. You continue to let me join in here, In Touch with iOS on Thursdays. Then for the British Tech Network, The Big Show and The Mac Show. And then Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch.
Thanks so much, Jeff. Eric Bolden, thank you for being here and all your amazing backgrounds we see every week. Where can people find you?
Oh, so much fun. I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to. And then Mondays on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays on Mac Voices. Thursdays, of course, here on In Touch with iOS. So I cover all my OS bases.
Yes. Thank you, Eric. Chuck Joyner, thanks always for being here. Really appreciate it. Where can people find you?
Thank you, Dave, for having me. I always appreciate it, even when I'm forgotten. You can find...
Wasn't on purpose.
You can find me at macvoices.com on a daily show that we have an awful lot of fun with. We do the live show, as was mentioned, on Tuesday nights at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV at 8 p.m. And on the socials, find me as at Chuck Joyner. Thanks again.
Thank you. Jill McKinley, always a pleasure having you on the show. Please tell everybody where they can find you.
I have Start With Small Steps podcast. That's my main podcast. You can find me on YouTube as well. And I am starting to use Ecamm Live and doing live shows and then getting used to it. And that's been fun. And you can find me on X as Schmern, which is like with an E. But it's best to just look on a link. And that's primarily where I'm there. We're social media.
Great. Thanks, Jill. Appreciate it. Ben Roethig, it's always great to have you back, and hopefully now I guess we're going to see you a little more often. I'm excited about that. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Ben Roethig on Twitter, or all Twitter and all the other social medias. You can find my writings and ravings. I might actually write now that I actually have time at roethigtech.com. And now that I am not working during the time that these shows are on, you'll be able to find me on such shows as Mac Voices Live with Chuck Joyner and the Big and Mac shows on the British Tech Network.
Thanks so much, Ben. Last but certainly not least, Marty Jencius, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Where can people find you?
You can find me creating a new sport called Gridball GP, which is a combination of Formula One speed, rugby contact, and baseball strategy. You asked for it, you got it.
Right.
All three of them are combined. That, I think, is for someone in the chat room. You can find me Monday nights at Vision Profiles, live streaming at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with Eric and David and also Daniel will join us occasionally talking about what's going on with AR, VR headsets, and particularly the Vision Pro headset. Tuesdays with Chuck on Mac Voices in the group. Wednesdays, I'm doing some other stuff with Old Mac Gang and other podcasts that you can find at the podtalk.net website. Thursdays here with Dave Ginsburg, and occasionally Friday mornings at the Mac Show.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Really appreciate it. We had a great time doing the show this week, and we'll be back next week. But until then, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll talk again soon.